on Thanksgiving. Now they're ready to get back on the court, sweat off the calories, and get back to work as tonight they take on the JV squad from ECU. Plano alongside Matt McCurdy. Chandler-Gilbert with a little Thanksgiving holiday break after coming off a convincing win over Park University. Gilbert 118 to 52, and now they get back to work. And unfortunately, with this team, Matt, the injury bug plagues the team yet again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's tough when you see such great athletes and such a great team forming, and then an injury, sets the team back. And right now, we knew about Parker Larson and the tragic season-ending ACL tear that he's looking into and trying to figure out how he's going to come back from that. Last game, Lockie McCain seen out due to a heel injury. Now, granted, these are some JV non-season games, so that's probably the smart move. Take it easy, but nonetheless, we don't want to see it. And now, Ollie Hinder sprained his ankle in practice, currently wearing a boot tonight, trying to recover for the big game on Saturday, but he also won't be playing tonight.
So, yes, that game Saturday gets the team back in conference play as they'll host Scottsdale Community College. Of course, the women will tip that off at 2 p.m. But before that, it's all about tonight. And, of course, for Coach Steve Silsby and his team, they play on with the players they have. And, of course, when other players go down, that allows for opportunities for others.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've really seen a lot of great players from the team step up off the bench. I mean, last game, Kobe Mott, very impressive. We hadn't seen a lot of him all season and all season long, but when he came off impressive. He played strong. He led the team, and I love that he was really kind of an offset point guard for Javen, and that's promising. Now we've talked about how height is a problem for our team, and with Parker Larson down, now Ollie Hinder with his ankle. That's going to be interesting to see how do the boys really manage not having their down low post game available in tonight's matchup, and this might be something that they have to figure out leading into the season because, as we've seen, there's a lot of injuries.
So the thing about this for Coach Steve Silsby, he'll probably go to a smaller lineup and play faster, and that's okay. Along the way, they're going to have to learn how to play different styles, and this will give them the opportunity to focus in on that as other young men will get the opportunity to step up and play. So it's, once again, the Coyotes are lacking bodies, and here they welcome in the squad from ACU, Arizona Christian. Of course, they're located up to 17, the Firestorm, making the trek here. And last time out, Chandler-Gilbert with a very impressive victory, 118-52, and we saw some really good performances, as you mentioned. Some great performances. Will Coates with 22, Cohen Aldridge with 15, Nolan Christensen with 15. Just up and down the lineup, a lot of good opportunities. And we'll take a moment for the national anthem, and then we'll get right into the heart of this one with the starting lineups and more. national anthem is in the books, and now we'll right through the starting lineup for visiting ACU. Starts with Emory Young along with Caleb Kelly. Number 4, Tyson Monk. Luke Olmstead. And finally, Rec Magana. And that's your starting lineup for Chandler-Gilbert. And Rick Magana is like an Adonis. I mean, he's just got that strong, athletic build. Looks like he's about 6'4" and just chiseled.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he came out of a Bowflex magazine, right?
Yeah.
Jabin Price, your starting guard for Chandler-Gilbert. And I think Jabin is, no question, he is the engine that really makes this team purr so far this season.
Absolutely. He's just a necessary piece, and when he gets on the court, he brings the energy, he brings the intensity, and you've got to have a guy like that who can ramp the team up when they're having a slow moment or even just to get the game going.
So your fellow starting lineups, Corey Salah Thomas, number 10, Connor Aldridge, Will Coates, and Carter Carab being mentioned. Carter, a physical force, and right now he's going to be really counted on with the lack of size inside. Of course, Ali rolled his ankle. Parker Larson out for the year. A team just, you know, you get to December, you're thinking, okay, we're just working on chemistry, getting into the flow. And right now, Chandler-Gilbert's just trying to get healthy. They're trying to get some able bodies on the court.
Yeah, having the lack of health, I mean, it just becomes an extra unneeded challenge when you're trying to play the game and get your team right. And look, luckily, we saw last game the three-pointer shot improved. That's something so desperately needed as they lose the down low. Kobe Mott coming in with 3 out of 4 hitting. Will Coates hitting 3 out of 4. So they're working on that outside game. We talked about that being much needed, and we'll see, can they work it inside and then kick it out and really get their outside game going tonight.
And that was paramount for the team. They shot 36% from 3, 66% from the floor. So an excellent night of shooting. And now as they try to dust off the Thanksgiving rust, they go back to work, and Caleb Kelly will pick up the first foul of this contest. Jabin Price off the inbounds. Coates baseline. And Will gets swatted out of bounds by Caleb Kelly.
And right off the bat, you can tell ACU really playing a tight, close-up game. They're riding the Chandler-Gilbert squad quite closely, not really letting much gap space.
Turnaround, and that turnaround is sweet. A good look by Connor Aldridge, who knocks it home. I think for Chandler-Gilbert tonight, it's going to be really paramount. The young guys coming off the bench, they're going to get valuable minutes. So as this shot is fired up from the outside, and Magana, the man-child, going up strong. And Coates with the tip. And Carter brings up the floor. Jabin Price up that left side. Price up the top of the key. Jabin will dish it out. Salah back to Carter, down to the post. Carter, turnaround. Off the iron. Pulled down by Tyson Monk.
And you really are right, Joe. Tonight's going to be really interesting to watch Carter and how does he adapt to being kind of the solo post player. And he's got quite a large man on him tonight with I can't see the number, but 23, Anakin Melton.
Three-pointer is good from the outside. Caleb Kelly firing it down. Early firestorm lead. Carab gets it over Will. Will gets locked up. He'll decide to take it, and he'll take 3 the easy way, the old-fashioned way, firing and delivering. Will having another good year from the three-point line, shooting 53%. I mean, Will from long range is just a player that just provides you that length on the wing and then the ability to stretch the floor. And the thing about Will, and we don't see enough from him, he can attack the glass. Mm-hmm. And when he does, it's always with authority, it's always with purpose, and it's usually always productive as well. Salah with a rebound and throws it away. Kelly up the floor. Kelly. They put it on the deck. Work it back out to Kelly. Gives her Magana. 20 on the shot clock. Three-pointer is fired up and knocked down by Luke Olmstead. A 6-5 Firestorm lead. And, I think maybe as we look at the season, of course, in quarters, right? And then we are in the first quarter of this season for Chandler-Gilbert. To lack the bodies that they are and to have to grind through a game like this down the road might be so good for this team. As Carter banks it in.
Yeah.
More young men get minutes, more chemistry is built with different parts of the roster in different situations, and the team learning how to grind without personnel.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is a good opportunity, like you're saying, for them to learn, figure out what works, what doesn't, and truthfully find out what works in these unconventional conditions where they don't have players. They may face this more down the stretch, and it could become very helpful to them that they've met this early in the season.
ACU coming out playing tight man. That's taken away. Good hands by Caleb Kelly down in the post. Flip over. Three-pointers launched. The three-pointers off the iron. Pulled down by Aldrich. Connor works the middle floor. Shoots it to wing. Will gets it over to Carter Crab. Salah with 16 on the shot clock. Salah lost the handle. Taken away by Olmstead. Olmstead will take it and drive in. Olmstead, he's got 5 early points. About to check in is Cohen Aldrich. Chandler-Gilbert once again can't connect. Is shooting out long distance. Fired up, and Thomas with a rebound. And Chandler-Gilbert will methodically work it up the floor, getting into their half-court offense.
And that last was one of those drives from Javen where I would have loved to see him go in strong, pump fake, maybe kick it back out, let the team work it back around and hopefully get the open shot.
And Carter on the misfire to Connor Aldrich. 4 minutes plus, 8-7 ACU. Of course, ACU decked out in the orange and red, Chandler-Gilbert in the home white and teal. So glad you could join us right here in the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network. Hope you had a tremendous Thanksgiving. Kobe Mott in the game. Mott coming off a really nice performance. Will Coates from long range. And Will, sizzling. Another three. He's got 6, and he's off to a good start. 2 for 2 from long range.
And Joe, there were a lot of theories leading into tonight's game that maybe Will would be moved down into more of a post player position. He does have the height. We know he can attack the glass, but I'm honestly glad to see that they left him out further. I mean, he was hitting such great threes on the perimeter last game. It seems like he's really coming into that bag, and we've seen even when he's on the outside, he can still impact on the inside as well. So I'm glad they did move him to a traditional post player personally.
Connor misfires from 3. ACU and Chandler-Gilbert playing an up and down kind of ball game.
Good steal.
Good steal by Aldridge. And Kobe will get Chandler-Gilbert in its offense. 20 on the shot clock, plenty of time. And we've seen Kobe in that game last week, and once again, just showing the good moves. Little spin move, and then Will with the follow.
What I love about Kobe's game is that even though we've seen so little so far, we just kind of got a glimpse last game, now a little bit more here, is how confident he is on the court. Right there, most point guards, when they're new to the game like this, at least at this level, would have thrown it away, gone frazzled, but he stayed determined, pump faked, moved on in, got his team to the point.
What I really like about Kobe's game, he plays under control. He can play up and down, he can play fast, but the most important thing is that we see this in sports, and we get the foul on Tyson Monk, is that when you speed up athletes, doesn't matter the sport, the great ones, for them, it's like everything's in slow motion. They see the game moving slower. Kobe Mott runs the point just effortlessly. He doesn't let the game get him sped up.
Right.
And that's an impressive thing. Right there, he finds Aldridge, and Aldridge with a good look but still another great valuable possession by Kobe, who worked it, got into the paint, saw it suffocating, and then dished it out and gave his teammate an opportunity to make a play.
Absolutely, and that's really the key for a great point guard. And we've talked about this, where the ability not only to facilitate on the outside, but when you're in that crunch, in the moment, driving in, looking towards the basket, being able to keep that head up and keep the court vision alive and find the better and best shot.
Launch from three. That's in and out. Mott with a rebound. Racing up. Mott dishes it down to the post. Nolan. Great play by Nolan. The fake and up and in. And Nolan coming off that 15-point outing. So good to see the young man who's now in his second year from Mountain View High School over in the Mesa area. And that's one thing about Steve Silsby's team. Doesn't matter who you talk to, as Nolan rips that one down, shoots it out to Will in the wing. Will, no hesitation, bang. And Will right now is nuclear. 11 quick points. And, you know, we talked about in the preseason, Coach Silsby is like, I need 15 from Will. And Will has gotten some confidence. He's found his stroke, and you just like to hope that carries over to back to conference play when they host Scottsdale on Saturday.
No doubt. And what I love is it all started with that first shot where he looked for the inside, but took a moment and said, you know what, I've got the open shot here. Let's just take it. Shot it, and now you can see feeling very confident in the shot and going for it.
And that is dropped by Magana for his first point of the contest, and had a chance to talk to Mr. Coates, who talked about Thanksgiving and said the brisket, it was a 10-pounder, and it came out muy perfecto. So in the McCurdy household, what was on the Thanksgiving platter?
Oh, we had all the good eats. We had the turkey, the ham, some great desserts by all the grandmas and the aunts and the cousins bringing something to the table. And a really great salad. I'm not normally a salad guy, but there was a really great salad this year too. It sounds boring, but it was so good it's worth mentioning. So, yeah, we had all the eats. What about you?
Cohen cans of three, so he was gobbling from three-point line. I had the standard: turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, just all kinds of goodness, and was very happy with it. And I've come to discover, look, Thanksgiving, there's so many great things that day, but I'm really thinking that mashed potatoes is now like my new favorite thing on Thanksgiving, because I rarely eat it, and Thanksgiving is like a rarity where you got to dabble.
Mm-hmm.
And mashed potatoes, you just realize how tremendous it is. It's like eating good French fries, right?
Absolutely.
Or eating good potato chips,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Some changes and some quality minutes put in by Luke Olmstead, who gave the team 7 minutes in his first 8 and change. Also checking out Caleb Kelly. Put in 3 points. Emory Young, his opportunity for his first points of this contest. Knocks down the first. Checking in, number 25, Brock Allen, and Tyson Monk checking back in. I think we might see at some point maybe Kobe handling the basketball, and Javen might be playing the two.
Yeah.
Depending on the status of Lockie McCain and when he's going to come back. And that would give Javen the opportunity to free himself up and be more of a scorer instead of a facilitator.
Absolutely. No, it definitely gives them a lot of options. They're both quick guys. They both know how to facilitate, move the ball. And Javen's got that quick electric step that you talk about so often. It might be a great spot for him in that second position.
Cohen cans his second three, and that's a really pleasant sight. He's shooting 32% from three. Good defense by Chandler-Gilbert. And I think Coach Silsby alluded to, we got to be able to hit our three-point shots, and the team was better last week, and we've already seen the team dial it in from long distance, 5 threes in the first half, and that's a great sign for a team that's going to need that kind of firepower, especially if the bodies down in the post aren't there.
Yeah, well, and that's something I just love about Coach Silsby team is the execution, and not even that, but the ability to take some of the flaws and the things that aren't working in certain games or early in the season. And when Coach Silsby says we got to bump this up, they take it seriously and they execute. I mean, you mentioned Will Coates. Coach Silsby saying he needs 15 plus a game, and we're seeing that from him now in this middle of the season.
Yeah, it's a tremendous thing to see the team constantly getting better, and then that's a pleasant side right there, is to see Connor posting up and showing what he can do down in the blocks, because he might get that opportunity from time to time. You know, you think about the Aldridge brothers and their ability to shoot from the outside and talking to their dad, and this was just a while back, and that's a good, tough physical play in the paint by ACU. Emory Young, his first bucket in this one, and back in the other end, Connor working very physically as they call the foul on Brock Allen. But Mr. Aldridge talked about it, and when we saw them early in the season, they didn't shoot that well. And he's like, you know, surprisingly, my kids are really good shooters from long range. So the fact that we're starting to see that from both of them is really tremendous. And because you don't want to say this team has to live and die by the three, but they are going to be, as we saw them against Pima, a little undersized. And players like Ollie Hinder, who provide size for Chandler-Gilbert, Will Coates, Carter Crab, they're going to be tested. So the ability to hit those long-range shots will loosen up the post a little bit, let them breathe, and maybe get some more one-on-one matchups.
Yeah, this team definitely needs to be firing on all cylinders. You know, that game against Pima, you mentioned, was very eye-opening. Not only does Pima have some great high down-low talent, but then they can pull up, they're quick, and they can shoot. And so CGCC really doesn't have that luxury to be good in one position or just good in one area. They got to be good in every area. And where they're missing some down low, that's going to be crucial. Hopefully they can get healthy and get that post-player talent back. But the fact that 3 points opening up, that's going to be huge for them.
Scottsdale, and that is who Chandler-Gilbert will be hosting on Saturday. Record of 1-4, 1-0 in league play. You kind of look at their numbers, and that's a foul down in the post. They're putting up 65 points, shooting 42%, 29% from three. Zach Anderson and Zion Jancy, their co-leaders. So 1-4 start. So it's one of those things, you look at the record and you kind of look at their box score. It's not tremendously filled, but for Chandler-Gilbert, they have to be able to capitalize, and they might be undermanned yet again in that. So they're going to have to utilize their bench, and Coach Silsby does a great job with that. And it'll be a good test early for the team. And, of course, for Chandler-Gilbert, after the run they made the last 2 years, they're going to get everyone's best game. There's no everyone's going to mail it in against them. No, there's a lot of pride in this conference. Everyone's playing for their jersey, their name, and Will Coates, again, Will Coates putting on a show and then some. Young man with 14. And that could be a travel, and that is the call. And Will Coates right now, he's got his shooter's touch. Maybe it was the brisket.
I'll tell you what, whatever was in that brisket, I hope he's passing it around, because he is just shooting off the charts tonight.
4 first-half threes. He's got 12 total. Make that 14. Price dishes it out. Another 3. And Will Coates just unconscious. My goodness. 5 first-half threes for Will. His dad in the crowd, and that's a steal by Javen. Run the break, Javen. And they call the blocking foul. Good aggressive move by Javen, going strong. And Javen will shoot a pair.
And I just love seeing that from Javen, you know. He's got the lane, he's got the speed, he's got one defender in front of him. You know, sometimes we talk about if you got a few guys down there, make the better pass, get the shot. But he had the lane, go strong, get fouled, head to the line.
Javen's first point of the contest, and it's really critical for Javen and some of these younger guys, Ali Hinder, the Aldridge brothers, and Coach Silsby said because of the injuries, we need some of these young guys to step up and quickly. And that was a good move in the post by Luke Olmstead. He's got 9 points for the Firestorm. And in the ball game, Tegan Mulalny. Coates down in the blocks. And he's basically got the whole utility belt going now. Showing the range from three and now going down in the post as well.
When you mentioned it, that's just where Will has so many talents and abilities that I'm glad once again they didn't just throw him in the post because he was clear. He can shoot from the outside. He can drive in. He can dunk. He can get the rebound. I mean, he's just a talented athlete.
Checking out Brock Allen. Came in, provided a couple minutes of relief for his teammates. Now in Landon Heslett, number 2 for the Firestorm. Connor Aldridge up the top of the key. It's going to be a foul on Luke Olmstead, his first. And unfortunately for the ladies, they were supposed to have a game this week and it was canceled. The opposing team won't be able to make it. So the ladies, after a long layoff, will jump back into conference play against Scottsdale, and they'll tip that off on Saturday. And the doubleheader games are always fun here.
Absolutely.
In the lane, Tegan, Nolan Christensen, strong, and wow. And one. Nolan, the strong, aggressive move. And you love to see that, who's playing with some confidence, playing with some fire.
And Nolan's one of those players where, you know, he kind of just surprises you. That was a very acrobatic move right there. He came in and gave a little bump, turned the hips, and one leg, one arm, floated it over. So he's got some real talent and skill.
The big thing about Nolan, spent a lot of time watching last year, and Tegan coming up with the steal, and Jabing will track it down. And the alley, and just a little too high for Will, who's going to throw it down. Connor kicks it back out to Nolan, and Jabin will reset with 19 on the shot clock. Olmstead in his back pocket. Now they swing it over to Connor Aldridge. Aldridge over to Will. A couple dribbles on that right side of the key. Jabin, 8 on the shot clock. Kicks it back out. Connor lost the handle. Taken away by Tyson Monk. And dished over, and the contact is drawn by Caleb Kelly. Nice reverse move at the glass, and he'll shoot a pair. We haven't seen Chandler-Gilbert make too many mistakes tonight, and that was the rarity, losing the ball. And, of course, that's always a hot topic for Steve Silsby and his team. Take care of the basketball, take care of possessions.
Yeah.
Be strong to start the game, be strong to end the half, be strong to start the half, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to ACU's credit, you know, they're taking a little bit of a beating. Will Coates' threes have really put the Coyotes over the edge, and they've got quite almost a 20-point lead. But ACU's played strong. You can see they're not giving up a lot of space. They're still coming up on the defender. I mean, they've done a lot of great things tonight that have made it a fun game.
Little backdoor. And the up and in. Nolan, once again, providing some quality minutes. And, you know, it's funny because we haven't seen Chandler-Gilbert since last week, but the ball movement, I think, is as good as we've seen all year.
Yeah.
It's crisp. The shot selection's good. The shots are falling, and the team is overall doing a nice job. Offensively, they got 41 points already, and ACU's got some athletes, and they got some size.
Yeah.
So it's not like what they saw last week when they played Park University Gilbert, which might have been a little outmanned.
Sure.
This ACU team a little more athletic, and Chandler-Gilbert making it look relatively easy.
Yeah, the Coyotes very much in sync as they're playing, and you can see that in just the way of Nolan Christensen on that last play being in the right spot to get the rebound, to get the putback. When your team's just out of sync, you miss those little opportunities to get the extra point, get the steal, and so far they're running on all cylinders. They're running as one unit, and that's what you want to see from a cohesive team. Some nights that won't be exactly at top notch, but they're really playing solid game. And I agree, some of the best ball we've seen from them all season.
Kobe Mott and Carter Crab back in. Nolan Christensen checks out. Nolan with already a good stat line with 7 first half points. And a foul against Carter Crab. Called the hooking foul. 6 and change left to this first half. So glad you can join us from the Coyote Center. Coyotes back in action after being Park University Gilbert last week. 118-52. Everything went well in that game, and now Coach Silsby going to call a 30-second timeout, and why not? Good opportunity to regroup his team, and for a squad that hasn't played in a week, you couldn't tell. They look good, and they're doing this without, of course, Ollie Hinder and Lockie McCain.
Yeah, one thing, we never want to see players out of the game. As many assets on the floor are valuable, but in some of these situations where you don't have a big man force like they typically have, it forces some of these outside shots to get better, some of these inside cuts to be more in sync, and I think we're seeing that tonight where the guys on the perimeter can't just sit idly and wait for something to happen. They have to be cutting more efficiently. They got to be looking for the open pass and getting those good looks.
And I think we're seeing that down in the post. We've seen it with Connor Aldridge, Nolan Christensen down inside, Will being a facilitator down in the paint as well. So the Coyotes not only shooting well from the outside, and of course Will Coates is just putting on his basketball demo tape for all the coaches to see out there on the live stream tonight, but the team just doing a really nice job of setting each other up, making highly effective shots and looking really crisp. And if you're Coach Silsby, you've got to be happy with the first half, 41 points, but still 5 and change to go. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Javen. Kobe puts it on the deck. Kobe. Turnaround. And Mott with a good look, hits the rim. Grabbed by Caleb Kelly. Olmstead will let it fire from 3. Olmstead off the mark. Will with another rip. And Will has been productive in every facet of this game. Of course, he can highlight the three-point shooting, but he has been a facilitator. He's been banging down in the glass. I mean, he is giving the team extra effort in every facet, and you love to see that from a sophomore who's counted on to provide leadership, and he's just doing just that.
Well, what I love about Will as well, and we've talked about this, is just his confidence and his calmness on the court. You can see even when he gets a little foul there, stays calm, looks to the ref, walks down onto the other side of the court, shoots his free throws, and that's something a good leader brings to the court. I mean, for all the other players out there to look to.
And Will's fantastic night continues. He's got 21 first half points and has made it look really easy. And Chandler-Gilbert playing tight man-to-man defense. Not a lot of breathing room for the Firestorm. 15 on the shot clock. Shot is launched up, and that's not even close. Taking that for the Firestorm is Mark Blodgett, who's checked in the game. Mark Blodgett's got the high socks. Those are really rare. You'll see those. And Javen, quiet night. And Mo Alney being worked by Blodgett. 8 on the shot clock. And now you can hear the chants of the clock sticking. Will from long range. And that one off the front of the iron, but still a good strong look with a guy in his face. So right now, Will is hitting everything. And when he misses, it's point blank looking good as well. Magana, that big, tough, physical frame inside for the easy deuce. And a little spin move as well. A little flare down in the blocks. Moalny shoots it over to Cohen Aldridge. Cohen and Connor, they know each other. They're brothers. Back to Cohen. Cohen will let it fly, and Cohen connects.
Wow.
On the 3 ball. And he's off to a good night as well. Good defense by Chandler-Gilbert with the active hands. Anakin Melton checking in, and Tyson Monk, who's yet to pencil anything in a box score, checking out. Olmsted, 15. Works it down the block. The kick out to Blodgett. Blodgett launches and nails it from 3. And Chandler-Gilbert, 3 and change left in his first half. Connor with a big body, Magana on him. Cohen will work it out. Tegan Mullowney, left side, dumps it down to Connor. Turnaround off the side of the iron. Cohen's got it. They work it around the key. Javen, 15 on the shot clock. Javen going strong. That's partially tipped. And it's going the other way. Javen, a strong, aggressive move, just ran to Magana, who might have got a fingertip on that or two. Loose ball foul against Chandler-Gilbert as Anakin Melton will go to the line. Chandler-Gilbert with 8 fouls. Firestorm with 7. Firestorm, of course, making that trek from the 17. They're playing for pride. Chandler-Gilbert. And right there, the refs taking a moment to reset. And Steve Silsby having a conversation with Javen Price about bringing the ball up the floor more effectively and not wasting time. And of course, that's a big reason why.
Yeah.
Be effective with the clock. We're always going to see the good teams in the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference. The good guards, they're bringing the ball up within seconds. Teagan over to Javen. Javen, and swatted from behind by Caleb Kelly. Javen wanted the goaltend. Coach Silsby wanted that as well. And your referees, we'll talk about them tonight. Sam Gunning, Chris Bolton, and Corbett Hesh. Make that Corbett Hess, that is. Cohen will dish it out. Teagan worked in that corner. Connor lets it fly. Connor, big time 3. And the Aldridge brothers with a nice night here at the Coyote Center. Blodgett on the other end. And Blodgett with the catch and release. I just love the guys that can just grab the ball and just fire it and make it look easy. And that was an impressive display by Blodgett. Very little hesitation as soon as he caught that. $1:30 left, 51-29. Javen will let it go. A little too strong. Good hustle by Cohen, who will pull it back out. And I love the IQ. Reset the offense, work the clock, look for a better shot. Coates fired up from the outside. Cohen misses. Blodgett rebound. Works it out left side. They dump it down to Magana. Magana had the mismatch and just the bad pass off his ankles, rolls out of bounds. And you can hear the coaching staff for ACU saying, next play, we play on. Cohen, little floater, high off the glass. Good hustle by Connor, and the putback. And the Aldridge brothers really coming into their own. That's a pleasant surprise. Coach Silsby talked about some of these younger guys needing to step up, and we're seeing that. They're growing more confident and trusting their game and realizing, look, they've got to believe them in themselves to perform, and they are doing that and showing their versatility in different areas of the court.
Yeah, when the team's moving like this, where they're getting the putback point for their teammate, I mean, that just shows that they're in sync, the chemistry's there, and frankly, it's just even a little bit cooler when it's the twins, brother on brother, making those putbacks for each other.
Oh, by the way, Will Coates has hit another three, and that ends the first half. And Will Coates, what a tremendous first half. 6 threes as he finishes with 24 first half points, and the Coyotes with a 56-31 halftime lead. And Matt, as we kind of reflect, what stands out?
Yeah, I mean, look, no doubt they're playing a JV squad, and so there's probably a little bit of a talent discrepancy. But ACU's been playing hard. They've been playing strong. I've really liked what they've seen. They haven't given up. They've put great defense on the Coyotes, and they've shot some pretty decent looks. But the Coyotes, so much improvement from game to game. I'm loving the outside shot. Will Coates just having an absolute dynamite performance tonight. But, Will Coates leading the march with the rest of the team not far behind. Great performances from Connor, Cohen, Aldridge, Kobe Mott really playing a great role, and Javen obviously going and doing his part as well. So much to be proud of. Coach Silsby obviously leading his team and doing a lot of things right.
Yeah, Will Coates, 6 first half threes. Coyotes with 10 in the first half, and that is one of the bright spots for this team that has to continue to shoot better as they get into the heart of league play and start opening up the floor. And by no means, as we see Ali Hinder on the floor, as he went back into the clubhouse with his teammates. Soon enough, he'll be back with the team and give them some post presence. But in the meantime, the team and will have to do with what they have. And of course, Lockie McCain is still out. So, but for this night, returning from a week layoff, a 56-31 halftime lead, a very impressive performance by Coach Steve Silsby's team. And I think offensively, Matt, maybe their best performance. And it's easy to say, look, they're playing ACU, but I'm talking about the ball movement, the crispness of the offense. Things seem more fluid, and there's a nice flow of execution, and the shots are dropping, whereas 2-3 weeks ago, it'd be a struggle from long range.
Exactly. No, regardless of who they're playing tonight, they're playing good basketball, and they're playing some of the best ball we've seen all season. You said it best. The one thing I hope they take away from tonight is they don't have some of their big men, Ollie Hinder, Parker Larson. They just don't have the same size down low, and we're hoping, Ollie gets healed up real soon, and Lockie and Parker, obviously we know he's out for the season. But if this teaches anything tonight, that what they should take away is that everybody can help down in that down low post. Once Ollie returns, don't stop helping out like you did tonight. Stay in the game, work the down low post, and help Ollie out, and don't let him take all the pressure down low.
And that's going to be a big factor for this team to give Ollie Hinder some post help. And if they continue to hit the shots the way they are, and what we've seen is the versatility of the Aldridge brothers, not only just launching threes, but their ability to score in the post and be tough and not be afraid to get down there and take those little 5-footers and be strong to the glass. And we're seeing the evolution of their game continuing to evolve here at the Coyote Center, and that's a pleasant surprise for the team. So the Coyotes with a comfortable halftime lead, 56-31. We'll take a short timeout from the Coyote Center. More to come as Chandler-Gilbert halfway through looking for another victory and leading big at the half against ACU. We welcome you back to the Coyote Center. About to start the second half. Coyotes with a blistering first half. 10 first half threes. Okay, scoring discrepancy. The scorebook, which is a lot more accurate than I am, they got Will Coates at 22. I had him at 24. Needs to say, Matt McCurdy, tomatoes, lettuce, Latas. Will Coates was dynamite in that first half.
Yeah, Will Coates has just been electric and fun to watch the entire night. And it all started with that first pull-up where he said, hey, I got the lane, I've got the open shot, I'm going to take it. And he's just been pulling them off ever since. So I hope we see it into the second half. I hope he didn't cool down too much, but Will usually never cools down. He just keeps the furnace hot and ready and going. So he's been fun to watch.
So for you parents out there of young athletes and you're wondering what to make extra on Thanksgiving, do what Will Coates' dad does. Make a brisket. It pays off.
Yeah.
That brisket has paid off in heavy dividends for the Coyotes. 10 first half threes, and how about Will Coates with the big block on Olmstead. Salah down the lane, kicks it out. Javen thought about it, and he'll reset the offense. But once again, we talk about Will dynamic in every capacity, and that is such a leadership play right there. They go backdoor, and Will with the flush. And Will Coates coming out just simply dynamic to start this second half.
And how about that? Starts with the block of the dunk on one end of the court, returns the favor, and dunks it himself. I mean, he's just having a great game, to say the very least.
Good defense by Connor on the one-on-one battle against Monk. Javen will think about it, and short from three as Tyson Monk pulls it down. Caleb Kelly got that lankiness, and ACU will fire it from long range, and Will tips it back out. Olmstead, loose ball, in and around the cylinder. Magana, that big physical body, and Carter getting up and knocking it away. And that was good recognition by Will and Carter on Magana, putting two bodies on him. And that's a great recognition by the Coyotes to double up the big guy down in the post. We've seen everything tonight from the Coyotes, just more of an awareness and just more better execution, guys working harder, guys cutting, and Coach Silsby. And sometimes losses, it doesn't matter what sport, it's almost like the world's ending. But that's how we kind of looked at that Pima loss in retrospect, and we'll off the mark, surprisingly, from three there, is that sometimes that early season loss kind of recalibrates the team. And I see this Chandler-Gilbert team from where they were in that Pima game. And, of course, look, the level of competition much better. And no offense to the kids from ACU, Pima's ranked top 10 in the country. And they've got a shot to potentially win it all this year on the national stage. But I see a Chandler-Gilbert team getting better execution-wise in every facet. And that's exciting for the brand and exciting for Coach Silsby.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone wanted the Coyotes to come out of that game against Pima with the win, no doubt, especially after last season's loss. But I think you're spot on, Joe. It was a great way to find the benchmark of what the season was going to entail and what the toughest team out there was going to look like. And now they know what they need to work to. Now they know where they need to improve and kind of the chinks in the armor that leave them vulnerable to losing against teams like Pima. And so I think we've seen them executing and working on those aspects ever since.
And that's key for the team, because what we've learned from that Pima game, and how about Will showcasing the vertical and going high off the glass. And then Will the other way. Will right now is possessed. He is 150 miles an hour, nonstop adrenaline rush. And that is what Will is. Just having a tremendous evening. After a strong first half, he's just making plays on both ends of the floor, just providing leadership. And if Will can show that to the rest of his team, you know how contagious that is. That's going to carry over. all of a sudden everyone else is going to be delivering that key block, that key steal, and then going down the other lane and providing defense or maybe getting a bucket in transition or something hard in the paint. I'm loving Will's attitude tonight, coming out of the holiday break, not looking like he's missed a beat and coming out with a purpose. And why? Not just for his team, but look, he's got half a semester here left, Matt, and then it's Will, the next part of his collegiate career, and he wants to have that opportunity. And then right there, what a class move, picking up Caleb Kelly off the court. So Will Coates in every facet tonight. Leadership, play, sportsmanship. He's checking every box for Chandler-Gilbert.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be if he keeps playing like he is, and obviously we know he's a stand-up guy on and off the court, he's a great prospect for universities and schools beyond CGCC for his future basketball endeavors. But, what I love to see too is, and that last play where he goes up for the dunk, turns into a floor, is getting hammered by a bunch of players, and still manages to make it. They call it a flow state, right? And he's just in his bag. He's just doing what he does, and everything's flowing. He's not pushing anything. He's not rushing anything. He's letting it flow, and I just love to see that.
Very fluid. And we talked about playing both ends and how what he's doing sets the tone for the team. And we just saw that with Carter. He scored that basket on the scoop and comes down on a contested shot. They called a foul on him, but still a great defensive effort. And Coach Silsby is arguing the call right now with the referee. But we're seeing great execution by the Coyotes in this one. And it gets you really excited to see what they're going to do against Scottsdale on Saturday. And I think this is a Chandler-Gilbert team that has learned, and maybe they're just on the cusp of this, of really becoming a really gritty team, right? Just a hard battling team, and Salah from long range, his first bucket of the night, and the three-point barrage continues for Chandler-Gilbert. Is that maybe we're just seeing this Chandler-Gilbert team really just come into its own and becoming like a down and gritty, tough, determined squad. And sometimes as Monk buries a three on the other end, that toughness can get them through a lot of close battles, and maybe at some point will maybe draw them closer when they face Pima the second time around.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to have that killer instinct if they're going to survive in this conference. And like you mentioned, that foul from Carter, I don't mind it. I want to see more of that. I want to see him get down. I'd love to see him get a few more buckets on the scoreboard, but I love the grittiness. I love the drive, and everyone's contributing.
So no one misses. That goes out of bounds, and one of few not perfect offensive execution sets for the Coyotes, leading 65-37. 5 minutes as Magana goes in strong. Magana now with 6 points in the night. Tall and lanky, but just chiseled.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, he's got the assignment. Magana's chasing him. Now he goes out on Nolan, and Nolan will be like, hey, I'll shoot it up. I'm not afraid, and I'll deliver it from long range if you give it to me. He's got 10 points. And you'll love to see Nolan playing with confidence.
Yeah.
That's key. Nolan has to, for this team ultimately has got to get contributions from the bench. When they get in league, they can't be relying on three guys. Last year, we saw a Coyotes team, the whole box score was filled. Everyone was doing something. Yeah. And that is how this team has to be. And Javen slicing and dicing, and Connor off the glass for two on a great pass by Price.
How about that footwork from Connor? I mean, he was kind of dancing the line there, getting that pass through the needle, but Javen with the great pass, and then he footworked his way to the basket and made him in. I mean, that was fun to watch.
Three on the other end by Luke Olmstead. He's got 12 points, 70-42. Will thought about it. Finds the open man. And Nolan battling underneath. Salah keeps it alive. They go back to Connor, and Connor from about 10 feet away.
And what's cool about the Aldridge Twins game, and you don't see this as frequently, where basketball's just kind of gone a lot more spread out. It's either the three-point, it's the down-low layup. But the Aldridge Twins really are confident inside the inside game, the little 5-foot shot, and you just don't see that as much.
Caleb Kelly with a nice rip right in front of our view on that left side of the floor. I like their games. They're just very fluid. They don't force. They don't rush. And that's one thing I think we're really starting to see with this Coyotes team is Cohen, Kobe, and Carter Grab are coming in, and Will and Salah. Salah, that big three. Connor, Javen, Nolan. Nolan having a nice night with 10 points. Of course, Will has got 26 points, and Will deserves a breather and then some. I just think we're starting to see a team that is really starting to play seamless, not playing with fear, and trusting itself. And you love to see that right there. Carter just owning the post and being a relentless force. And that's what the team needs. They need him to be that guy. And Carter will shoot a pair. Physical toughness will win this team games in hostile venues. And they got to be able to display that on the road, at home, and to develop that in this kind of environment in a game. Sure, you might look at it, it might be meaningless, of course, in the course of the season, but it's such a growth moment for the team just to continue to build chemistry and be tough. And Coyote's doing a nice job tonight, 74-45. Usually you come off that Thanksgiving break, and whether you see it on the NBA or college circuit, Harold American, and how about that?
Oh.
And the big time finish from Carter off the great feed from Cohen Aldridge. Merrick to Aldridge to Carter with the showstopper in front of the home crowd. $76-45. Chandler-Gilbert going for its 7th win. Blodgett from the outside. He's a catch and shooter that time. Rolled around the rim. Maloney running the point. Valuable minutes right here. Arrow kicks it out to Cohen. Carter down in the blocks. Carter, step back. Off the side of the iron. Ripped down by Caleb Kelly. A little spin move. Called a couple. Kelly is showing the good handles. Olmstead picked up by Cohen Aldridge. Work to Monk. Kobe on Monk. Long range from Olmstead and knocks it down. That was great ball movement by ACU right there. And that was not an easy shot. Olmstead shot that probably about 5 feet behind the three-point line. So that's a situation. If you're Chandler-Gilbert, you tip your cap. They did their job defensively.
Yeah.
That was not a gimme three.
No. I mean, look, Chandler-Gilbert has played just a great game, and it's been fun to watch. They've been dominant the entire time, but ACU's done a lot right. They've been playing well. They've been aggressive. I love the down low work from Rick Maganga. And look, those threes that they're shooting are tough. They're competitive, and they're putting them away.
Blodgett checking out. He's got 6 points, and Olmstead having a nice night. 17 points. Long range three. That's off the mark. Harold going up and pulling it down. Harold sporting the nuke. Pink shoes. The Nike versions, I believe. It's funny how shoes are so fashionable now, not just athletically, but in dress wear for men.
Mm-hmm.
Cohen finding his brother, and Connor strong. Just great work. really muscling inside and using that front shoulder to give him position. Off the mark by Kelly. Connor with the rip. And Teagan will methodically bring it up. Winding down 10 minutes. Connor from 3. Ooh. And splash. And right now, this Chandler-Gilbert team is feeling really good and confident about their shooting. Now, keep it in mind, when we get in league play, the defense will be a little tighter. The rosters in the team will be a little deeper. Right now, of course, like most of these local university JV squads, limited rosters, so they usually go about 7 or 8 deep, so that can wear on a team after a half of basketball. Merrick kicks it back out to Kobe Mott. Mott, nice little slow charge to the lane, and will shoot a pair. I like Kobe's game. Kobe just plays really smooth and looks very effortless, and that's how I feel the team collectively looks tonight. The ball movement, everything is just really flowing well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's really little hesitation on their offense and defensively. And you mentioned in season, right, they're going to play some deeper teams, tougher teams. But if they can come out and play strong like they have tonight against those teams, yeah, there'll be some resistance, but I think they can score. They can put points on the board. And look, ACU was playing tough and strong from the get-go. And the Coyotes really came in, played their game, and put the points away. And so I think that'll be to their favor if they can continue that flow, that lack of hesitation into Saturday's game and beyond.
I think the big thing for the Coyotes is to really set the tone coming out of the break and not coming out methodically going the other direction, but just to be on point, to be in sync, to be fluid, and to come out with a purpose.
Yeah.
And we've seen great leadership from Will Coates, a sophomore, providing it in every aspect, and it's really been contagious. We've seen in just about every player's game on the floor tonight, and that's really great to see. I love the way the Aldridge brothers have really shown that they can be more than just spot shooters. And Salah, good look from the outside, off the iron. The Aldridge boys have really shown what they can do. Carter's played tough physical minutes down in the blocks. Nolan, another good game off the bench. Coyotes developing fourth and fifth scores is paramount. They need scoring punch. And Javen's about to kick back in. And Carter, high and hard off the feed from Harold Merrick. Carter's got 6 points. Magana. And Kobe brings it in. Kobe, middle of the floor. Wow. Gets in a lane. Oh, the sweet dish by Kobe. Thomas could not put it away, but that was something special. That was like a Jason Williams white chocolate move right there from back in the Sacramento Kings day. Yeah, that was highlight film worthy right there.
Yeah, Kobe right there being able to, I mean, that was not an easy play from the get-go. He was met with traffic from before the half-court line, split the defense on the way in, and it looked like he lost control of the ball, but managed to make it work.
Winding down to 8 minutes left in this one. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Joe Pequeno, Matt McCurdy on the call. And that's going to be a travel against ACU. One too many steps for Brock Allen. Nolan back in. Nolan having a nice night, 10 points. That's after coming off the 15-point outing against Park University Gilbert. Floater by Salah won't go. Allen, middle of the floor. And throws it away. And you can hear Coach Silsby right now talking about his team. Get back defensively. That's a situation right there where maybe you're playing one of the heavyweights of the league and they're blowing by you for a fast break basket. Mm-hmm. And those are little things still for this team to learn. And they've got this month. They've got to iron it all out, Matt, because when we get to January, it's the real deal. It's all conference play. And Carter in the lane, going up top. Carter now with 10 points. 3 ball by Landon Heslip drops. 87-52. But we are seeing tremendous basketball by this team as Magana gets called for the reach. Connor checking back in, and Connor's had a tremendous night. Harold Merrick going to get some minutes as well. Harold having a conversation with one of the referees, and that's Corbett Hess. Magana almost lost his footing. Connor running the point, and Connor, good look from 3. Olmsted goes high to pull it down. In that situation, we saw Connor kind of running the point and then decided to take the 3 by himself. And the Aldridge brothers, they're capable of running the offense in certain situations.
Yeah.
Monk down low. Monk. And Monk gets the roll.
You know, Joe, one of the things I love about these non-season games when they're playing some of these JV squads is, one, they're fun for us as viewers to watch and see some of the reserves and bench players get out there. But I think it allows the boys to try a few things out and allows coaches to try a few things out, a few different combinations, different plays, and some things that you may just not see in a typical in-season game. And it's fun for us as viewers, but I think it's crucial for them to improve their game and really experiment with the team so they're ready for those conference games.
No question. Building chemistry, of course, only a handful of games in. Olmsted, and how about the elevation by Emery Young? Young now with 6 points. Make that 7. Merrick with Heslip giving chase. Good tight defense by ACU. Merrick got to the rack. Could not finish it off. But a good, impressive drive. Monk works the high low to Magana. Magana blocked by Nolan. And the foul is going to be against Magana. And how about Nolan? Once again, 15 points and counting. Toughness down in the blocks, building more confidence in his game. It's great to see from the sophomore.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing, too, with Rick Maganga, really needs to use that size. You know, he's got the advantage, he's got the height. Move the body, get up, play big. I know he keeps bringing the ball down low, and then he's got opportunities from the Coyotes to get on top of him and block the shot, and that's what led to that contested shot down low.
Well, the big thing about big men, they always say, you don't keep the ball low, right? That's how the ball gets taken away. Got to keep it high and go strong. Yeah. I'm of the philosophy, I'm from the Shaquille O'Neal philosophy of destroy the rim. You go up high, you attack the rim, you slam it. You're, at worst, you'll draw the foul.
Yeah.
Good execution. Coyotes beating the press. Nolan. Bad pass. He was looking for Kobe, and Cohen with the nil steal. Olmsted flips it out. Shot is up from the left side. Around Magana. Good hustle play. Knocks it off Christensen. 18 on the shot clock. 5:03 left. Already in December. Chandler-Gilbert's season started with volleyball, soccer on both sides, and now here we are with basketball. Good move, driving by Emery Young. He's got 9 points.
Good move.
Harrell with the quick move. Kobe Mott from long range. That's off the back of the iron. Magana over to Young. Olmsted, we're running hard. Olmsted into traffic, floater. And Merrick pulls it down. That's a great feed, and Cohen with the kiss. And you love to see Harold Merrick providing good minutes. We haven't seen a lot of Harold. He's obviously has to work and earn his time as Olmsted connects on the three. He's got to earn his time, and it's refreshing to see him out there and contributing. And a sloppy possession by the Coyotes. That's Monk from Olmsted.
Yeah, no doubt.
90 to 63.
No doubt. It's fun, too, when sometimes you see some of the reserves come out on the court for a minute or two, but you never really see them warm up into their game and really get a chance to show off what they have in the tank. And so a game like this where you get to see Harold, for example, show off some of his talent and move it, you see he's got some skill. He's got the skill, and he can play with these guys.
And that is pleasant to see. And they're going to call this 3-second violation against Nolan Christensen. And Coach Silsby talking about the finer points of that learning moment right there. Coach Silsby always teaching. As intense as a coach you'll find in the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference. But it's all tough love. He loves his kids. There's nothing he would not do for his kids. Keeps in touch with players, of course, current, and his past players as well. And Nolan was going for the detonation down the lane.
Looks like some frustration as Nolan felt like he got the foul on the arm. Coach Silsby talking to the ref.
That Coyotes bench certainly felt he was fouled or was worthy of a call in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Olmsted traveled. And Olmsted's like, really, me? Yeah, it was you. You traveled, young man. It's going back to the way. 2:50 and counting. Christmas right around the corner. Matt, do you have big plans?
We'll probably stay local this time. Nolan Christensen burying the three after that denied dunk. But yeah, we'll probably stay local. We'll be with the family, and we've got some fun traditions, opening gifts, kind of the typical. But yeah, what about you?
Well, that's ripped out of the air by Emery Young. Young driving down, and Nolan tough in the lane yet again. I will be going to Florida to visit family and friends, and might be painting my house I grew up in. I have to look at the YouTube channel to figure out exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of guy that needs help changing a light bulb, so I'm gonna have to really process it and be like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Nicolas Cage in the movie The Family Man, where he's living another life and another reality, and he's bowling for the first time, and his friends are telling him, come on, you can do it. And then he's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I've done so many great things in my life. And how about Connor stretching it again? Connor's been impressive tonight. He's had a strong game, 96-65. Overall, a great performance by this team. Connor with the steal down in the blocks. And Cohen will run it up. And a timeout on the floor. Coach Silsby, 30 seconds to play with. Thought about for a split second. Playing on. Lowney checking in. Teagan. Just a floor general. Won't see him piling up the points, but just really directing traffic nicely. Merrick in the corner. Ooh. And how about Harold Merrick? And that's a good feeling for the young man right there. And how about that Coyotes bench exploding for their teammate? That's a great sight. And that tells you everything you need to know about the Coyotes right there. Olmsted. Kobe Mott ripping it down. Kobe down the lane, and Kobe delivering. Kobe Mott, once again, smooth and silky in the fast lane. 101.65. Olmsted, not afraid from three whatsoever. Blodgett thought about it. Monk won't hesitate. Mullowney swings over Cohen. Alley-oop time, and how about the rim rocker from Nolan? High and hard. Off the great feed from Cohen. Nolan now with 16. And talk about just a good night. I mean, this team is going to leave this floor as the time is winding down, and they got to feel really good about how they've looked tonight because they've played a spectacular basketball game. They shot well, good execution, and the Coyotes now improved to 7-4 with the 103-65 win. An impressive display, and they've got it from everywhere on the floor, and it started with, of course, super sophomore Will Coates and his great effort that kind of just set the tone for his teammates to follow.
Yeah, I mean, Will really came in, lit the stick of dynamite, and then let the team go ahead and blow it from there. So just an explosive performance from all the players. I mean, I think we got to see everyone out on the court tonight, which is really something special you want to see. You don't see that all the time in conference games because, you know, you're working your starting lineup and a few others, and in those competitive games, you work with what you have. So it's fun to see. But what's cool to see as well is that everyone on this team can contribute and give it their all and make a difference to move the needle. So that's a great thing to know as a coach, but then also as a viewer of the sport.
Yeah, I think we've seen tremendous efforts. We're seeing players really starting to believe in their games and evolve, and we're seeing that with the Aldridge brothers. We're seeing that with Nolan Christensen, who's starting to believe in his offensive game. And look, it's really about this team believing in itself collectively and getting deeper and believing that whoever comes off the bench can provide 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 solid minutes to provide some kind of scoring or defensive punch and give the team an opportunity in key moments to collectively believe it could win not just on this court, but throughout the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference. And of course, there are big road games coming up throughout the conference. We're going to have more from the Coyote Center. We'll look at the scoreboard and we'll have some interviews coming up. Keep it locked and loaded. Coyotes with their 7th win, 103-65 over ACU JV squad.
Oh, and then pull your headset. Oh, flip it real quick. Yeah, flip it around. And then, yeah, pull that down. There you go. Okay, cool. Now we're on. All right, Connor. Well, an impressive game, 28 in the scorebook. And how are you feeling tonight? Had some great shots in the second half, and obviously some great inside work as well. So, how are you feeling tonight playing, and how do you feel with your performance?
Yeah, I mean, it was just really good to see some shots going. I mean, I've been struggling a bit. And I mean, that was just a fun game. Everyone was hitting shots, got some dunks, so it was fun.
Yeah, and you guys had that big Pima game a few weeks back, and then obviously the game against Park University last week. And Joe and I were talking. It just feels like, as an offense, you guys have just been a lot more in sync since that Pima game. Just working consistently on putting points away, hitting those outside shots. And how's the team feel? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we're starting to slow down and see like the open shots. And I mean, we started knocking them down tonight. It was nice. But yeah, I think we're definitely getting the hang of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's been fun to watch. And you have your dad in the stands, your brother out there on the court. What's that feeling? Joe and I love to see you and your brother out there, balling up. But what's it like playing out there with your twin?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing with him. I've been playing with him my whole life, so that connection's definitely there. And I even made a joke about when he threw that lob to Nolan. I said that he's good at it because he practiced with me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That lob, where was that lob to you?
I'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. That's your next.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't play with them as much tonight, so I mean, I always enjoy it. But I mean, everyone's sharing the ball, so I mean, love everyone on the team.
Yeah.
We're working good together.
Yeah, and so also, you mentioned all the kind of guys getting out there tonight and getting to play, and Joe and I talked about that's just kind of one of the benefits of having one of these out of season games. What's that like? What's the chemistry of the team like? We saw a lot of guys cheering for Harold and Nolan when he got that last oop dunk, but what's the chemistry of the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, Harold making that shot, everyone going crazy. I mean, that's just part of the team and part of like what Coach built here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we're definitely family. Like everyone's cheering for everybody, and we play well together. Like everyone's sharing the ball, like we were talking about. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just fun to play.
Absolutely. And obviously, you guys got some injuries, right? Ollie with the ankle, Lockie, I think, dealing with a bit of a heel, and then Parker, right, out for the season. What's kind of the game plan with some of the big men out, and then having tonight? I think you guys played really solid. I think everyone teamed up and really helped out down in the post where you're missing some of those big guys. But what's the thought process, especially into this game on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard missing guys, especially starters and big roles like that. But I mean, we got to figure it out. Like guys like Nolan did a great job stepping up. Carter started at the 5 tonight. So I mean, guys are stepping up, and hopefully we're getting Ollie and Lockie back soon. So I mean, we'll be ready.
Awesome. Well, Connor, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
You had a great game, and excited to see so much more.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks.
This one's me?
You, sir? Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
And we welcome you back to the Coyote Center here with Will Coates. And, Will blazing in the first half, finishing with 25 and 5 to 6 threes in this one. And Will, you were cooking from deep. And what was the magic elixir? I called it was your dad's brisket
Hey, there we
for
go.
Thanksgiving. What was it? Because you just came out in a zone and you were knocking everything down from long range.
Hey, I don't think you were wrong. The brisket was a good. It was
10
good on
pounder,
Thursday.
right?
It was a big one, bro. It was big. So we had that on Thursday. It was awesome. But yeah, I mean, just took advantage of a couple days off. Really just rested. We live real close to a park, so me and my dad just went down form shoot a little bit. But yeah, that was really just rested and ate some food. So
Yeah, I think for the team collectively, for not playing in a week, what I really liked tonight, Will, was just everything seemed very fluid. It didn't seem nothing was a struggle. The offense seemed to be smoother, and the performance was better. The threes are falling, and it just seems like even though the bodies are coming and going because of the injuries the team is sustaining, but it just seems like the play is getting more crisp, and the familiarity with each other is helping that chemistry on the floor.
totally. Like you said, Ollie went down the other day in practice, and yeah, we just rotating bodies and stuff like that. Coach has done a great job since day one, especially with this team. Everybody gets to participate in practice. So I mean, you see it today. You saw it in the past game. When our bench guys are getting in, recently they've been scoring the ball. They've been playing a little bit better, and you can see that everybody's kind of stepping up and, like you said, playing a little bit crisper and doing that part.
What's really nice is that, Nolan last year had to watch a fantastic team.
Thank you.
And this year, he is starting to develop some confidence and some toughness and back-to-back games would to be in double figures. And what are you seeing from Nolan that in this second year with the team that's allowed him to take that step and maybe dabble in and believe in himself to realize he can be productive for this team?
Totally. I mean, last year in practice, he was a red shirt, not a red shirt. He played a little bit, but he was working his butt off last year. He's working his butt off this year, and yeah, you guys can see it. Honestly, I mean, he's playing a little bit more in these past 2 games, and yeah, he's taking advantage of it. You see him getting a couple alley oops, a couple rebounds, big time plays. Yeah, man, it's he's stepping it up, honestly. And nice thing that he does when he comes off a ball screen is he waits a little bit. Our team, we have a tendency to go one speed, and we cause a lot of turnovers like that. We've been really working on trying to change pace and stuff like that. And Nolan does a good job when he catches the ball. He'll wait a second, do a pivot, a shot fake, and it happened a couple times tonight. And he was able to get to the rack, do a little hop step, jab step, fade away type thing, step through, and yeah, he did that multiple times. And he's just been really working on his game, and I'm glad he's showing that.
Yeah, you like to see that for Nolan, who has put his time in and is now really contributing. And how big is that, Will, for this team? Because I think we saw early in the season, and now we're getting to that, you know, we're getting out of that first quarter of the season. Now we're getting to the second quarter of the season.
Totally.
But for that first quarter of the season where it just seemed like it was 2 or 3 guys scoring, and how important is it to have 4, 5, 6 guys filling up the box score to help the collective effort of the team?
Totally. I mean, it makes a big difference. The teams are going to guard you different. They can't run, certain sets, different things like that. Yeah, it just opens the floor up. You allow your big man to have a little bit more space in the post. Guys like me can shoot a little bit more, and honestly, it just helps everybody get a little bit more space, a little bit more breathing room, and yeah, it's harder to guard when more people are scoring. That's simple.
Scottsdale on Saturday, they come in record of 1-4, only 5 games underneath their belts, and great history taking on the Artichokes.
man.
And you started here, and your kind of thoughts on that matchup, and once again trying to come out fast and get a victory.
Totally. Yeah, same thing. Trying to start quick like we always do, but we know they got a couple big players over there, so we're just gonna do the same thing we've been doing. Hopefully, we get Ollie back by then, and yeah, have just another big man in our rotation. Yeah, just do what we did tonight.
That is Will Coates knocking it down like a champ. 25 points. Dad, of course, feeding the fire with a 10-pound brisket on Thanksgiving.
There
Not
it is.
1, not 2, not 3. The 10-pounder for our man-sized Texas appetite
There it
for the
is.
kid from Arlington. And that'll wrap up our coverage from the Coyote Center. The Coyotes get their 7th win, routing the squad from ACU 103-65. We'll see you on Saturday for a twin bill. The women will kick it off against Scottsdale, and then it's the men taking on the Artichokes in the nightcap. This has been a presentation of Chandler-Gilbert Athletics.
Here we go. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I think Saturday's game will be real good. I'm excited for that one.
I'm excited for that one because, you know, I think if you guys continue to, like, we just feel collectively the team look crisper, but we saw more hustling effort.
I agree.
We saw guys like moving, cutting that are you still been inbounding the ball is still a little bit of an issue, right?
Totally.
But I think the crispness on offense, the help on the weak side defense, just I saw a lot of positives tonight.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Coach has really been on it. So
Yeah.
I hope. I think I can see that really.
Well, I saw like
Thank you.
your leadership was freaking tremendous.
I appreciate that.
Both sides, and that's you know what they need that.
There we go. Well, I appreciate that.
You're the best player on this team.
Thank you.
You got to bring that. You do that. Look, you don't always. Doesn't always have to be 25, 28.
Yeah.
It's like you're just nonstop energy and providing the freaking squad on defense in the back, and you facilitate. Remember that one pass you made down to the blocks, and we watch everything.
Thank you. There we go. I appreciate it,
Dude,
guys.
you were great
I
tonight.
appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I really do. Thank you.
Take
Means
care.
a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
Coach,
thank
take
you
care,
too.
sir.
See you guys.
Pleasure.
Look at this. Do you want to close it out?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I closed it out.
Oh, you closed